Did you know there are dresses worth $8,000 being worn for performances that last less than 5 minutes? We're talking about figure skating costumes at the Olympics, where a 47-year-old Swedish designer named Lisa McKinnon has quietly become the person outfitting America's best athletes as they chase gold on ice. Right now, 7 skaters are competing in Milano Cortina, wearing her designs, 3 American single skaters, 2 ice dancers, and 2 South Koreans, representing at least 13 costumes total. This isn't just about fabric and sequins. This is about a woman who turned childhood passion into a business that charges $90 per hour and produces nearly 700 costumes a year. Let's rewind to how we got here, because McKinnon's story isn't some overnight success fairy tale. She grew up skating competitively in Sweden, made her first costume at 15 using hand-sewn paillettes because she couldn't afford crystals, and spent 16 years performing in and directing shows like Disney on Ice before she ever launched her studio. The catalyst came in 2013 when an old friend asked her to design one dress for a student at a local rink in Los Angeles. That single dress was eye-catching enough that parents and coaches started showing up at her door. And by late 2014, she'd quit her job as a costume supervisor to bet everything on this business. Within a year, she was dressing Ashley Wagner and Karen Chen, national champions and future Olympians. By 2017, she was watching her designs on the podium at the US National Championships, drinking champagne and crying as Wagner took silver and Chen took gold. Now, here's where the stakes get real. McKinnon and her 5 employees work between 40 and 60 hours per week, year-round, with clients booking 6 months in advance. Yet somehow, in December, reigning world champion Elisa Liu requested a new Lady Gaga-themed dress for the US Championships in early January, and McKinnon finished it in a hotel room in St. Louis the day Liu competed. Think about that pressure for a second. Imagine hand-sewing thousands of crystals onto stretch fabric that has to move with an athlete performing triple axels at high speed, knowing one loose bead could cost someone an Olympic dream. McKinnon admits she's cried over projects, that blood, sweat, and tears are common, though she says she cries less these days because she's learned to manage the chaos. This isn't just about craftsmanship. It's about understanding that every costume tells a story, that the difference between a $4,000 dress and an $8,000 one might be the narrative clarity it brings to a skater's program. Wagner and Chen didn't just wear pretty outfits, they wore visual extensions of their performances. And that's what separates McKinnon's work from a simple costume shop. But let's address the elephant in the rink. Is $8,000 for a dress insane? Not when you realize these athletes are competing at the highest level, where presentation scores matter as much as technical execution, and a forgettable costume can cost tenths of a point that separate gold from 4th place. McKinnon's trajectory mirrors every artisan who's ever turned obsessive dedication into commercial viability. She didn't chase trends or scale too fast. She just kept showing up early to do paperwork and staying late to reorganize scraps of fabric and crystals. Her competitive nature, the same fire that drove her skating career, now fuels her business. She wants to be the best, period. The lesson here isn't complicated. Find what you're naturally good at. Commit to excellence over scale, and build relationships that turn into referrals. McKinnon didn't advertise. She made one dress so good that everyone else wanted one too. Here's the broader truth we keep forgetting. Passion becomes profit when you combine craft with discipline, when you show up for 16 years in the skating world before you finally launch the thing you were meant to do. McKinnon's story isn't about luck. It's about preparation, meeting opportunity, when that old friend walked into her life in 2013. The irony is that McKinnon left competitive skating to perform, then left performing to supervise costumes, then left supervising to design costumes for competitive skaters. She came full circle by honoring where she started. Once you've skated, she says, it sticks with you. It's in your blood, and she's proof that you can return to your roots in unexpected ways. So what do we take from this? Whether you're designing Olympic costumes or building any other craft-based business, the fundamentals stay the same. Respect the process, charge what you're worth, and don't scale until you've mastered the details. McKinnon works 40 to 60 hours a week because she cares about every project. because she knows that being the best means finishing dresses in hotel rooms when champions need you. That's the standard. Not work-life balance, not passive income, but showing up when it matters. At the end of the day, Lisa McKinnon's studio reminds us that excellence is expensive, time-consuming, and emotionally draining, but it's also the only thing that gets you onto an Olympic podium, even if you're there through someone else's performance. If you're looking to invest in your own ventures, check out www.growthsense.com, where investors can find and sell investment properties. And don't forget to subscribe to our channel's newsletter to keep up to date with announcements.